So we are at the so-called Södra Viken in Ekenäs, where our family, the Ranckens, had a place for the boat that we used to go out in the archipelago. And my name is Romi Rancken, and I'm looking at a picture now from about 1968, where me and my sister are sitting in the boat, which was just bought and had arrived at the harbor. It's very early in the spring, and we are waiting for the summer to come.
Please tell us a story or a memory or some sort of anecdote, maybe that's to do with this or this area, particularly this place.
Yes, actually, this I heard just about years ago from my father, that it was quite a problem of getting permission to buy the boat, because the boat was not for sale. Actually, it was made for harbor work in the Turku harbor. That's why it's so sturdy and well designed and built. So he really had to quarrel with one of the harbor officials to get the permission to buy that boat. It came very early in the spring.
Why
in this picture, you can see even the snow. Ice is still here.
What specifically special about that boat?
It was not meant for buying. They had no system, for marketing or selling or anything. So they need to kind of create the system to be able to sell it, because they had built it for Turku harbor, and it was manufactured locally, a series for their own use. So it's like trying to buy a lifeboat from a ship. Could I buy that? Wasn't meant for the market actually. So that's the reason. And it was white and shiny, and when it came, and something quite different from the one we have had before. Very charming boat as such. And this is a kind of modern world with plastic and so on. But we really needed this because the family was big and the dog was big, and it was quite risky, I would say, to use that small wooden boat that we had. Yeah, I'm very cool there. Also, I have a strong memory of the small oak. You see, I've always been interested in trees.
Yes,
so you see the small oak, which isn't that small anymore, but it has been cut. So 50 years ago it was there, but it was very very small. Now they have for it not to grow too big, they have been cutting it. That was at the end of the wall. So I was walking along the shore, where there's a concrete wall, and I was walking on top of that wall.
Yeah, that's good. And then I think what we can do now, just to try this whole thing about two people talking, I'll cut here and go see, because I had some things came up to me, so now we are two siblings talking about our memory. So because it's funny, when we talked about this place, it's interesting how. So I'm Romi's sister, Ylva Rancken-Lutz, I can say that here too. So that when we talk about the place where the boat was, when we grew up, we had different memories, and I think I have a very strong memory from one place, and you have this memory of where it was, and I can believe that it was a longer time where you remember it because you were also older. But these memories of what was important to you, you remember this place because you said you had a memory of this specific.
Yeah. I was walking along the shore where there's a concrete wall, and I was walking on top of that wall. A little risky walk, but anyway, I have a strong memory. I also have a strong memory of the small oak. You see, I've always been interested in trees.
Yes,
so you see the small oak, which isn't that small anymore, but it has been cut, so it's
the one that's on the street.
Yeah. On this side of the street. So 50 years ago it was there, but it was very, very small. Now they have for it not to grow too big, they have been cutting it a bit.
Interesting.
But that was at the end of the wall, so I always had a look at that when I was
How
walking.
funny. And for me, that little corner there is interesting. I have such connection with that corner and this cart that we took from the row house where we lived, and that we unloaded it right there. So there are these specific memories that you remember. But then I was thinking about this, if you can hold this. This picture is so interesting because this is a new boat and we see it the first time. And then what happens is that the oldest child can always sit in the front. And here he is, a very proud big brother who sits in the front. You see, he already took his seat on the first time we saw the boat. Yeah. So it's really interesting because I remember how, Romi isn't along, then it's my place. I don't know how many times our little brothers sat there. Not very many. Not Toffe anyway, the youngest one. Yeah. So this is quite an interesting, I'm a sociologist, so it's interesting in that way how you decide your, what's your right.
And it also had someone had to sit there because the boat was designed in such a way that it was necessary to have some weight.
And it was probably a very good choice in that way to have the one
I was a little bit heavier.
And there were never two kids in the front. That would not happen.
No.
So that's And also interesting is now that Romi, our father, died, and we had to decide what to do with it because it was out in Skolde. So now Romi took it to his new summer place.
Yes. So we will use it. It's not in very good shape, and the motor can't be used properly. But we're planning to use it for transporting things.
Wood.
Whatever building materials. So we will drag it with another boat. So because it's quite spacious and goes well in water.
Great. So it has that's great. So then we got both of these. Yeah.